Hi, I'm Debbie Hartner.
I'm Elsie Johnson.
We are two sisters, Southern Cooking. Debbie. So today we are revisiting a couple of the recipes we did last year, but Elsie and I have kind of expanded our skills with the editing and the videotaping and whatnot. So we decided to come back and do these videos again, and we want to give you an updated version of them. So one of Ben's favorite cookies in the world is black and white cookies, and we found these up north, and I didn't realize that they actually made them down south too. We lived in New York for a while, and there was a couple bakeries up there that do the black and white cookies. You know, they have the white chocolate and then the dark chocolate, and it's like a sugar cookie. So we're going to go ahead and make the dough for this cookie. I'm doing it all with the hand mixer today because, well, because we can. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my vanilla into the buttermilk. And we're going to I'm just going to stir this up real quick just to mix it together. And I'm going to use my spatula to scrape down the bowl too whenever we are needing to make sure everything is well combined. I'm going to go ahead and start off with my butter and my sugar. Now I've already whisked together my flour, my baking soda, and my salt in this container here. So everything is kind of like right here on this part of the table. So, alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and pour in 1/2 a cup of sugar. This is a little more melted than what I was hoping it would be. So I'm hoping it doesn't make it too loose. It might take a little longer for it to stiffen up a little bit. So I put it in the microwave to soften it because we just got it out of the refrigerator. We use the Walmart butter. I use the salted butter. I know some people like the unsalted because you can regulate the amount of salt. There is a few times that we will use the unsalted, but for the most part, we use the salted. Doesn't matter to me. A little extra salt. I love it. I love the seasoning for it. Okay. So with this here, I'm going to go ahead and use the mixer and get this creamed up. So this is going to take a few minutes, so we'll be right back. Okay, so I have my sugar all well blended with my butter. I was a little concerned that it was going to make it a little liquidy, but it actually tightened up okay, and it made it like a smoother texture. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my 1 egg. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that in, and then we're going to add in our flour and our buttermilk mixtures and combine them. Okay, so we are done mixing in the egg. You don't want to overbeat it, but you want it to be well combined and just so it's like all well incorporated. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start actually putting stuff in here because this is a larger bowl. And I'm going to go ahead and put in our buttermilk and our vanilla. And then I will add in our sugar, butter, and egg mixture. And we'll put it in here, and then we'll whisk it up with the handheld mixer. So we try to give you guys ideas that you can use all the tools you have in your kitchen. Your stand mixer, your handheld mixer, your whisk, and your bread machine, food processors, whatever you got. Just break them out and use them and have a little fun with it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in my creamed mixture here, and we're going to whisk this up. I don't want it to be too smooth. I want it to be just enough because we want it to be a cookie and want it to be able to hold up. So we're going to do this until it's just well combined. All right, here we go. We'll be right back, guys. We are using an 11 by 18 cookie sheet with some parchment paper on it, so. I don't want to make them too big. So what we're going to do is just put these on here, and once they start to bake, they will form their circle a little bit better, because right now I'm just putting them on the sheet. If you use a 1/4 cup scoop on this, it's pretty big. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to make it too big. We want it to be just a nice size, and that way we have enough to dip and make some delicious cookies. I'm telling you, this is a delicious recipe. So we'll be right back. We're going to go ahead and put these in the oven at 350 for about 15 to 17 minutes. And then when we come back, we'll show you how good they look, and then we'll go ahead and get ready to make the chocolate to dip. Gonna be good, y'all. We'll see you shortly. Hey y'all, so we are at the second part of the black and white cookies, and I'm pretty excited. This is so simple. You don't need a mixer or anything like that. You just need to make sure you have some kind of a scoop or a spatula and some bowls to be able to mix it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and put we're gonna do a 1/2 of a tablespoon of water. I'm gonna go ahead and put my vanilla and lemon juice in. And we are going to do 1 tablespoon of corn syrup. And the reason why I chose to do this all in this is because I wanted to be able to cut out some of the mess. Because corn syrup, when you're mixing it and putting it back and forth into like containers and stuff like that, and you move it multiple times, you're going to lose some volume, but it's also pretty sticky. So I just wanted to kind of cut out the middleman here and just do it this way. All right, so 1 tablespoon of clear corn syrup, the light corn syrup. I'm going to go ahead and mix this here until we have like an icing consistency. And then I'm going to divide it in half, and then we'll put the cocoa powder in it, and then we're going to have our black and white cookies. So pretty excited about that. I might have to add a little bit of water in here because it looks like this needs to be watered down just a smidge. So, but we want to make sure this is going to be spreadable. Not to the point to where it's so liquidy you can't do anything with it, but we need to make sure that it's spreadable. Alright, so I'm probably going to have to get some more water to be able to put in our icing when we do the chocolate part of it. This actually is just like a royal icing here, and then we add the cocoa in, and that brings in the chocolate aspect of it. That's the only part of it that has any kind of chocolate is the cocoa. So there's none in the vanilla part of it. The corn syrup helps to give it a little bit of kind of almost like where it's a binding agent to keep it together. It gives it sweetness too, but it's more like almost like a binding that binds it together. I'm probably gonna need to add just a tad more water here when I get the cocoa. Maybe just a little bit more in here too. Let's see. Nope, I think that consistency is pretty awesome. I think we are good. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my cocoa in here. I did sift my cocoa because cocoa powder tends to be a little clumpy. So I have about a 1/2 cup So I'm going to go ahead and put about a 1/4 cup in here. That should be good. Go ahead and sweeten that and put that in here. All right, so what we're gonna do with this is go ahead and start adding it in. Now, because this is a little bit of a drier ingredient, we're gonna go ahead and add some water in here. Now, if this gets to the point to where it is too thin, you can always add more confectioner sugar in it. But as of right now, I think we can add some more water. Ah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I'm just going to smooth it out with this spatula so it gets rid of any clumps that might be in there, because corn syrup can make it a little clumpy because it's such a thick, viscous consistency. All right. Now this cookie is not going to dry down as much as some of these black and white cookies. So this here will not dry down as much. It'll be a little tacky and a little wet. So don't be alarmed if that happens. Now these are cake cookies. These are not like a crunchy, typical cookie that you would eat. These are more like made with cake. Okay, y'all, so I am back. I have my cookies here. So we are going to start putting half white and half black. And you need to turn the cookie from the side that is normally up and it's domed, and you're going to turn it upside down. The reason for this is the cookie icing stays on a flat surface, but if it was on the dome side, it would roll off. So that's the reason why they do that with that concept. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay this across here, and we're just going to smooth this on, and then we'll put the chocolate on there. But this here will set, and you have to let your cookies completely cool before you start to ice in the cookie. Otherwise you'll have melted icing everywhere. It'll be a hot mess. These are a very fragile cookie too. They're pretty soft, so just be careful with it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to do the chocolate to match it up. Then I'm going to go ahead and finish these off screen so you guys can see them when they're done. So we'll go ahead and do the chocolate on these two. Make sure that your icing consistencies are about the same, by the way. You can do this with a spatula, or you can do it with a spoon or a knife. It depends. So that's how it's going to look. When I remove it off of here and let it dry, it will dry on a air rack, and that way it'll drip down and we won't have like the cookie icing hanging around. So, but I'm going to go ahead and finish the second cookie so you guys can see that, and then we'll go ahead and do the rest of them off screen. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be delicious, y'all. Alright, I think that is good. Good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and finish the rest of these up off camera, and we will see you in our next video. Hey y'all, so it's Debbie. I wanted to give you an update on these black and white cookies. They turned out pretty awesome. So there's a trick to it. So you can put your chocolate side on at the same time you do the vanilla side, but they're going to like blend together. So you want to make sure that that is not going to be the case. So what I ended up doing after monkeying around with it a little bit, I ended up putting my chocolate on and then coming back and doing my vanilla. And the ones that I had done earlier that were kind of like blended together, I went ahead and put another coating on the top of the vanilla. So it gave it a little bit of a more contrasted color. Turned out really pretty. And this is a really delicious cake cookie. It's not a chewy cookie or a crunchy cookie like a regular cookie. This here is a New York style black and white cookie. So I can't wait for you guys to try it. Let me know how you like it. We'll see you in our next video. And I'm Debbie. We're Two Sisters Southern Cooking. And we thank you for visiting our page. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.